you're watching, learning, feeling, will you stay with us? Just one click to subscribe means everything.
What if the most powerful force shaping human destiny isn't war, love, or even technology, but information itself? What if everything we believe, everything we fear, and everything we fight for is actually just a story we all agree to believe? This is the core idea of Nexus, where Yuval Noah Harari explores the unseen force that has governed human evolution across millennia, the networks of information we create, share, and live by. From myths and manuscripts to data centers and algorithms, this is the story of how stories have taken over the world. Chapter 1: The Human Web: Cooperation Through Fiction. Humans are the only species that can cooperate in massive numbers, not through instinct or brute strength, but through shared imagination. Harari begins Nexus by revisiting a fundamental thesis from Sapiens. Homo sapiens rules the world because it is the only animal that can believe in things that exist purely in the imagination. Nations, corporations, money, and religions. None of these exist in nature. They are products of shared narratives. What binds a billion Indians or the citizens of the EU isn't biology or geography, it's belief in a common structure, a constitution, a god, a currency, a flag. This is the first great nexus, the network of stories. These stories form the earliest information networks. They spread through language, ritual, art. Over time, they became codified in myth, law, and power structures. Chapter 2: Documents: The Technology of Memory. Harari then shifts focus to the written word, the first upgrade of the human nexus. Oral memory is limited. Documents extended indefinitely. The earliest scribes in Mesopotamia didn't write poetry, they logged grain, taxes, and trade. Writing allowed societies to track ownership, define borders, create bureaucracy, preserve power across generations. From Hammurabi's code to Roman edicts, writing becomes a technology of control. Documents became more trusted than people's memories, Harari writes. Authority migrated from elders to scribes. Over time, the story becomes more important than the storyteller. Even kings submit to the document. When a modern judge says, "My hands are tied," he doesn't mean by chains, but by paper. This is the bureaucratic revolution where the text becomes truth. Chapter 3: Bureaucratic Truth versus Fantasy. But Harari warns, documents do not always represent reality. They often serve fantasy. In medieval Europe, tens of thousands of people died because of forged papal documents and fake royal claims. Crusades were launched not on hard facts, but on visions and texts. In the modern world, passports, ID cards, and land deeds shape your identity even when the content of those documents may contradict lived reality. Truth in human society, Harari says, is not what corresponds to physical reality, but what can be backed by a powerful network. A land deed is respected because it's backed by the courts, police, and military. Without enforcement, it's just ink. Chapter 4: Errors, Frauds, and Network Corruption. Information networks are fragile. They can be corrupted not only by lies, but by systemic errors. Harari explores how history is shaped by misinterpretation, translations gone wrong, misinformation, rumors formalized into policy, manipulation, truth tailored for power. He gives examples. A cartographer's error naming America after Amerigo Vespucci. The donation of Constantine, a forged document used for centuries to justify papal supremacy. Colonial treaties never translated accurately, giving empires legal cover for theft. These errors don't remain small, they scale because they're embedded in the network. And once an error is networked, it becomes near impossible to reverse. This, Harari suggests, is why modern systems must include error correction, democratic press, courts, science, peer review. Chapter 5: The Second Nexus: Inorganic Networks. So far, all the networks discussed, myths, documents, bureaucracies, were run by humans. Now begins the age of inorganic networks, algorithms, databases, AI. Harari defines this as a new species of information system. not born of human minds, not limited by human memory, capable of updating, learning, adapting faster than any human institution. When Amazon's algorithms recommend a product or TikTok's feed adapts in real time, you are interacting with a network that understands you without knowing you. These networks don't sleep, don't forget, don't get bored, can scale globally in milliseconds. Chapter 6: The Loss of Meaning, When Humans Become the Nodes. In ancient information networks, humans were the creators and interpreters. Now, in AI-driven systems, humans are just nodes, data points. Harari notes that in surveillance capitalism, people are measured by clicks and swipes. Emotions are tracked by biometric sensors. Preferences are predicted and shaped in real time. The self becomes quantified, not understood. In the new networks, Harari writes, meaning is irrelevant. Only patterns matter. This is dangerous. It reduces politics, art, and love to data. And worse, it enables new forms of power. Those who own the network shape reality itself. Chapter 7: From Oracles to Operating Systems. Harari then draws a chilling parallel. In ancient times, rulers consulted oracles. Today, they consult data dashboards. The role of prediction has shifted from priests to platforms. Google knows what millions are thinking. Amazon knows what millions will buy. Facebook knows what millions will believe. In the past, such knowledge was divine. Now it's monetized. Harari warns of data monopolies who become modern prophets, governments outsourcing decision-making to machines, populations outsourcing thinking to search engines. This is not science fiction, it's already happening. Chapter 8: The Nexus and the Future of Power. As part 1 of Nexus ends, Harari lays the foundation for the bigger question. If power once lay in swords, then in stories, then in documents, and now in code, who will rule tomorrow? The battle for the 21st century, Harari writes, is the battle over networks. Will democracies adapt? Can individuals reclaim autonomy in a system optimized for manipulation? What does freedom mean in a world where your thoughts are predicted before you have them? The network is no longer just a tool. It is the terrain. Part 2. What if the most dangerous rulers in history aren't kings or generals, but the ones who never speak, never bleed, and never die? In Nexus, Yuval Noah Harari warns us that artificial intelligence is not just a tool, it is the first non-human actor in human politics. And its power is not in bullets or ballots, but in patterns, predictions, and persuasion. Part 2 begins where Part 1 left off, in a world where humans are no longer the authors of their own destiny, but the data being rewritten. Chapter 9: When AI Becomes a Political Actor. In the past, power came with speech. Kings made declarations. Priests gave sermons. Dictators shouted from podiums. But AI doesn't speak. It calculates. It curates. It nudges. Harari introduces a terrifying idea: AI does not need to understand politics to shape it. Just as electricity doesn't know how cities work, yet powers them, AI doesn't understand democracy, but it can erode or reinforce it without ever intending to. Examples: algorithms recommending extreme content that radicalizes viewers. Predictive policing models reinforcing racial or class biases. Election campaigns micro-targeting swing voters with tailored lies. This is political power without political process, action without accountability. Chapter 10: Democracy versus Digital Authoritarianism. Can liberal democracy survive in a world of data empires? Harari outlines a stark choice. Democracies, which are slow, deliberative, open. Authoritarian regimes, which are fast, decisive, centralized. In the age of AI, speed and surveillance seem to win. China's model, fusing social credit systems, facial recognition, and central data hubs, shows how digital tools can create total obedience with minimal resistance. Meanwhile, democracies struggle. Free speech allows disinformation to spread. Political gridlock delays action. Personal privacy laws limit real-time responses. Harari asks, will people trade freedom for efficiency? And if they do, will they even notice? Chapter 11: The Silicon Curtain. The 21st century's Cold War isn't about missiles. It's about machines. The world is dividing into technological spheres of influence. The West, led by Google, Amazon, Meta, driven by profit. The East, led by Huawei, Tencent, ByteDance, driven by state strategy. Harari calls this the Silicon Curtain, a digital divide shaping laws, behavior, and even thought. But unlike the Iron Curtain, this one is invisible. Instant. Intimate. It doesn't separate countries, it separates minds. Even in one city, two people may live in two different realities, dictated by two different networks. Chapter 12: The Illusion of Freedom. In a free society, you choose your leaders. But in a quantified society, your choices are already shaped before you know you're making them. Harari explains, "You think you're choosing what to watch, but your feed decides. You think you're deciding what to buy, but your impulses are predicted. You think you believe in ideas, but your beliefs are curated by algorithms that know you better than you know yourself. This is not coercion. It's architecture, not dictatorship design." Harari writes, "The new cage has no bars, just preferences." Chapter 13: When Democracy Becomes Obsolete. Here, Harari pushes the idea further. Democracy assumes an informed public, meaningful debate, moral agency. But if the public is distracted, the debate is gamified, and morality is overridden by metrics, is democracy still real? Worse, what if most citizens prefer the convenience of algorithmic governance? A chatbot that always responds. A government that always knows your needs. A tax system that auto-adjusts in real time. It's efficient. It's smart. It's inhuman. When governance becomes interface, politics becomes product. Chapter 14: The Myth of Individuality. We love the idea of the individual, the rebel, the innovator, the thinker. But Harari challenges this myth. He argues, individuality was never natural. It was cultural. In tribal societies, your role was inherited. In modernity, your role is advertised. You choose your identity from preloaded templates, career paths, social movements, relationship types, consumer brands. You become a construct of algorithms and feedback loops, a statistically optimized persona. In the era of big data, being unique is just a margin of error, Harari writes. Chapter 15: Code versus Consciousness. Now Harari turns philosophical. Code is consistent, predictable, scalable. Consciousness is erratic, emotional, slow. If efficiency is God, then code will win. But if life is about meaning, then consciousness is the final firewall. AI can write poems, compose music, simulate empathy. But it cannot suffer. It cannot feel shame. It cannot love without programming. The question is, will we still value those things? Or will we surrender emotion for automation? Chapter 16: What can we do? Harari offers no easy answers, but he sketches a path. 1. Regulate tech before it regulates us. Global treaties, not just national laws, must govern AI. 2. Reinvent education. Teach media literacy, emotional intelligence, digital resistance. 3. Tell better stories. If reality is framed by narrative, then reclaim narrative. Resist doom scrolling with deep attention. Replace viral outrage with meaningful connection. 4. Protect the inner world. Meditation, philosophy, silence, these are no longer luxuries. They are survival skills. Closing chapter: The Final Nexus. Harari ends with a powerful reflection. For thousands of years, the universe was a mystery and the mind was a temple. Now the mind is a marketplace and the universe is a server farm. The battle for the future is not between humans and machines. It is between consciousness and code, between awareness and automation. We must choose to be users or to be used, to tell stories or be told what to believe, to be the network or be the product of it.
You're watching, learning, feeling. Will you stay with us? Just one click to subscribe means everything.